Making sense of politics and the cultural divide from a different perspective. This is America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant on News Radio 710 Keel.
Welcome, citizens, to America on the Edge. This is C.L. Bryant along with my co-host Stephen Parr, and we have the privilege of bringing you this program today from the greatest place on the face of the earth, the USA. And we are here in Shreveport, Louisiana at Giuseppe's restaurant, the best food in town. Chef Giuseppe Brucia is one of the all-time greats as far as chefs are concerned. And we're here live with a few friends of ours at a meet and greet uptown in Shreveport. And Stephen, tell the folks what we got on the lineup today.
We have a huge show today coming up. By the way, if you are in Shreveport, you want to come on by Giuseppe's. It's on Line Avenue in the Brookshires Shopping Center, and we'd love to have you. We got space for it, and I want to say thanks to everybody that's coming out here. We have an interview today with Sean Hannity, your buddy.
My buddy.
He's going to be on our show today, and really, really excited to see that today.
And this type of programming that we are trying to bring and will bring to Shreveport, emanating from Shreveport, in the fall will emanate across the nation. And it'll be because of people like you and friends like you who have been here and are here at the very ground floor of something that we hope will change the conversation and the landscape, the political landscape of our country.
We're also going to be talking about the lawsuit from the House of Representatives to the President of the United States. It's never happened before. We talked about the bill that was passed yesterday that would give the House the standing to do that. We'll see if a judge agrees, but that's coming up. Of course, there is a potential downside of doing this, which would be if you lead to impeachment eventually. And Jimmy Fallon kind of brought it up the other night. Pros and cons of a Biden presidency. Listen to the clip from his show 2 nights ago.
Pro, Biden has already spent hours in the Oval Office. Con, mostly spinning around in President Obama's chair. Joe, get out, Joe. Pro, watching him put his right hand on the Bible to recite the presidential oath. Con, watching him make L's with both hands to figure out which is right and which is left. Sometimes you got to do that.
You gotta know.
And finally, pro, his first order of business, strengthen the economy. Con, his second order of business, kill Voldemort. There you go. That's the pros and cons, everybody.
You know, Stephen, when people like Jimmy Fallon start turning on the president, folks, he's in trouble. I've even heard tingle up my leg Chris Matthews say things that I never thought I'd hear Chris say. What else we got?
We're also going to be talking about Common Core and nap time in Caddo and Bossier Parish and how that's going to be changing for this year and what it means for our kids. But first, let's talk about the buzz.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening.
So when you're working for the government in a high-profile position like, say, in the IRS, like Miss Lois Lerner did, perhaps you may not want to spend your time calling members of the opposition party blank holes, but she did do that. The House Ways and Means Committee released some emails that they found. Not all the emails were lost, apparently.
Yeah, evidently.
And she called the wacko crazies on the Republican right. She called them wackos and crazies and blank holes in emails, official emails, as part of her government job duties.
And she just didn't start doing this the other day. This is something that she does every day, I'm sure. And she's coming after you, folks. She's coming after you if we don't get her first. Let's get her first.
So she says she didn't do anything wrong. She didn't break any laws. She took the fifth.
Not a smidgen. Not a smidgen of anything.
Not a smidgen of corruption, but apparently the person that was supposed to be seeing whether Tea Party members could get tax-exempt status thought that they were all wacko crazies. That might have something to do with it. Let's also talk about what's going on in Hawaii. How many of you, by the way, just a show of hands in the room, this is going to be our question of the day. How many of you have been flown to Hawaii by the government? Anybody had the government fly you to Hawaii?
Oh, here's a
we have one.
As a veteran.
We have one in the room.
Got to be a veteran.
Has been, and actually I have been flown to Hawaii by the government as well. My family flew military standby out of San Francisco.
But you were a legal citizen of the nation.
Right.
Yeah, folks, you're not going to believe this.
According to Fox News' Todd Starnes, 8 unaccompanied minors have been flown by the federal government to Hawaii.
Do you know how much it costs to live in Hawaii? Why not fly to Mississippi?
Well, it's closer. That's the other thing, is that Hawaii is actually further away than many of these countries that these kids came from.
Hawaii's further away than Guatemala or
yeah, it's way
out
in the middle of the
Honduras?
Pacific.
Amazing.
They're shipping, and they're saying more are heading that way. And part of the reason is because there are apparently a lot of attorneys in Hawaii who are happy to take these cases pro bono.
And friends of Obama.
Well, it is indeed a blue state.
Wow.
Yeah. So let us know. Let us know if you have been flown to Hawaii by the government. Let us know what, and if so, why. And send us a tweet at The American Edge, or Facebook.com/America on the Edge. Normally, I'd also ask you to call 318-320-KEEL, 318-320-KEEL. But today that's not going to help because I'm not near that phone.
We're not there.
We're live at Giuseppe's
But
on Lion Avenue in Shreveport.
We have the Puff Man here to do something. But I tell you something, that is the question of the day. And folks, I want this to sink in. Your tax dollars are not only being used to fly non-citizens to Hawaii. We don't know why they're flying them to Hawaii. We don't know how much this whole thing is going to cost. And evidently, the people we've elected to office don't care. It is time for us to have a different administration, and it's time for us to stand up and reclaim what we know to be our America. This is C.L. Bryant, America on the Edge. We will be right back.
Giving you the edge. This is America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
The Italians are not the only lovers of pizza, but just to make the Johnny's of Pizza House experience more authentic for you, we invite you to Be Italian. We'll whisk you far, far away to a land of romance and squisito Italian pizza. A 12-inch for just $12.99 begins your journey. Our new bacon and tomato pizza seasoned with Johnny's special Italian blend. Enjoy, no. Go there, Johnny's bacon and tomato pizza today. Johnny's Pizza House. Taste the best.
Have you ever thought, I wish I didn't have to search for the best price on printing or direct mail? Tired of trying to design your own material on some confusing website just to get to the end and it's not that professional look your business needs? Well, stop searching and call Graphic Industries. We've been waiting on your business, ready to help you with your printing and direct mail needs. Graphic Industries offers all types of print, stationery, brochures, flyers, catalogs, door hangers, books, pocket folders, postcards, variable printed letters, and much, much more. Graphic Industries can direct mail for you, too. You can customize a mailing list, target a certain demographic, or just flood the market and get your name in the homes of thousands of potential clients. Lowest prices, best quality, and a faster turn time. Visit us online at graphicindustries.net. or call us today at 318-222-1100. Graphic Industries, the #1 choice of printing and direct mail.
If you haven't yet, go to our website, AmericaOnTheEdge.com. It's different than most websites out there, and that's because it's not a website, it's our nation, created by Logic Nation. As we're launching this new kind of radio show, we decided to partner with a new kind of internet company. Logic Nation gives us a new way to interact with you through your existing social media platforms. We've got Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all in one place, which makes it easy. Too much of the time, social media becomes a place where we bicker and fight rather than listen and learn. Logic Nation gives us the ability to start a new conversation on air and online. So now when you go to our Nation page and start a conversation with CL or with me, we can stay focused on that discussion without getting distracted. It's going to change things, and I believe for the better. Logic Nation has an app to make it easier to browse content on your mobile devices. You can download that for free today. If you have a business that needs to reach your customers in a new interactive way, you should give Logic Nation a try.
If the number on your thermostat is going up just as quickly as the temperature outside, your air conditioner may have a serious problem. Give the friendly folks over at Premier Heating and Cooling a call at 222-1980.
Hello, everybody. This is Henry Burns. God, faith, and freedom are not free. Many have paid the price. Let freedom ring. What a great radio program. Go get 'em, CL.
You're listening to America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
All right. We're back.
Welcome back to America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant. I'm Stephen Parr. We are live today from Giuseppe's on Line Avenue in Shreveport. We got a packed house in here, and I appreciate everybody that has come out to watch us do the show. Our question of the day, we want to know, has the government ever sent you, has the government ever flown you to Hawaii? Let us know. They've flown some undocumented, unescorted children out there. Have they ever flown you to Hawaii? Let us know on Twitter at The American Edge or on Facebook.com/America on the Edge. CL, yesterday, the entire House voted to authorize John Boehner to sue the president for his breach of executive authority.
Yeah.
And the president has not liked that.
Yeah, the president sort of brushed it off. And I'll tell you, folks, all of our listeners out there, we have to be aware of this because the president said, and I think you have a clip of that,
We do have a clip of it.
The president, you're going to hear this clip, and he's going to make light of this. He's going to say they're trying to hate on me because I'm doing my job. You'll hear this in just a minute.
He was speaking at a crowd in Kansas about the lawsuit, and listen to what he said to the rally yesterday.
The main vote that they've scheduled for today is whether or not they decide to sue me for doing my job. No. First of all, here's something I always say. Do not boo, vote. Booing doesn't help. Voting helps.
There's an emotional flame that he is trying to fan. This is the same thing that happened when he won the first time. I have no idea. Don't ask me how he won the second time. But they are trying to trump it up as though, and he's trying to gain sympathy. That was a huge crowd he was in front of yesterday, Stephen.
And here's what else he said in that. He called it a political stunt. He said they're mad, this is a quote, they're mad because I'm doing my job. They're going to sue me for taking executive actions to help people.
To help people. Well, folks, Dr. Krauthammer, do you have that Krauthammer cut?
We do. I think Dr. Krauthammer on Fox addressed this very, very well.
He nailed it.
His job. Listen to what he said yesterday on Fox News.
Look, the substance is a very serious issue, and I think Democrats will regret not having taken seriously the president's overreach on domestic issues, which I think are unprecedented.
Dr. Krauthammer, you can look forward to him being on your air here in Shreveport, Louisiana. I know Dr. Krauthammer, and as soon as we can arrange it, we're going to have his voice coming. And don't forget, Sean Hannity's coming up in our next segment. But what he said, I think we missed the first end of that, is that the president's job is not to help people. The president's job is to uphold and faithfully execute the laws of the United States, of the Constitution of the United States. It's not to help. Somehow this president is one of the very first, perhaps the very first, to ever not be able to fit or identify his job description. He thinks for some reason bringing these people into this country illegally is his sworn duty, Stephen.
His job is to execute the laws, to faithfully execute the laws that are passed by Congress and signed by presidents, and presidents prior to him as well. how many things have gone wrong in this country because we were trying to help people out of just this overabundance of compassion. That's where all these undocumented, unescorted minors have come from, is because the president was trying to help these kids. He signed this DREAM Act into executive order, and now all of a sudden our border's being flipped. Do you think those kids are sitting in these detention centers along the southwest border with other people who have diseases? We don't know. Do you think they're being helped?
And the thing about that, too, is we don't know who these people are. And somehow Americans, governors in states like Indiana, my good buddy Mike Pence up in Indiana, and governors in Oklahoma, they are having people dumped into their offices, into their into their states without their authority. And the governor of any state is the chief executive, as all of you know, of that state. How is it possible that the feds are now overreaching into sovereign states? That's happening in this country.
Here's one other part of what the president said yesterday. He said, they're mad because I'm doing my job. Stop just hating all the time. H-A-T-I-N apostrophe. Hating all the time.
Oh, he put on his black accent. You know, he had to move to the south side of Chicago to learn how to be black. And he didn't know how to do that. Yes, I said it. And how is it possible that a guy who grew up in Hawaii and was educated in some madrasas all of a sudden can just turn on the black accent whenever he's as bad or worse than Hillary Clinton? In fact, I think he's worse because his skin is black. But Al Gore, no, Al Gore's probably worse. I'm sorry.
Here's this thing that I say on the show all the time. Words have meaning. Just because I disagree with you doesn't mean I hate you. Don't tell people I hate you when I disagree with your point. I think the president has overstepped his authority. Doesn't mean I hate him. I'm not hating on him. I disagree.
Of course not. And we have disagreed with other presidents. But I tell you what, right before George Bush left office, I disagreed a lot with George. But I tell you what, I miss George right now. Matter of fact, I miss Bill Clinton right about now. But the thing is.
Speaking of people who did not like George Bush, on the floor yesterday, Sheila Jackson Lee, representative from a Houston area in the minority-majority district, went to the floor and... All right, well, listen to what she said about impeachment, because the Democrats are trying to say that this is all a prelude to impeachment, which the Republicans insist, no, it's not. It's about curbing executive excess. Listen to Sheila Jackson Lee.
I ask my colleagues to oppose this resolution, for it is, in fact, a veiled attempt for impeachment, and it undermines the law that allows a president to do his job. A historical fact that President Bush pushed this nation into a war. It had little to do with apprehending terrorists. We did not seek an impeachment of President Bush because as an executive, he had his authority. President Obama has the authority.
Actually, historical facts, Representative Jackson Lee, you co-authored a bill for the impeachment of the president. Sheila Jackson Lee was a co-author of a bill in 2008 to impeach President George Bush. And then she stood on the floor yesterday and said, oh, we never tried to impeach the president.
An administration of liars. They lie at every turn. They even lie about things that they signed themselves, as Sheila Jackson Lee did. And it's time for us, as we will, call them out on them. You're listening to America on the Edge, emanating from Shreveport, Louisiana, here at Giuseppe's Restaurant on 710 Keel. We'll be right back.
Coming up on Hannity.
Giving you the edge. This is America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
Doctors Thornton, Pugh, Ollier, and Watkins from the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center are excited to tell you about a new, made-for-iPhone hearing aid, Resound Links. Resound Links is the fully featured hearing aid designed to connect directly with iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch. Built with revolutionary technology to bring you a smarter, smaller, and more connected hearing experience. Call the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center at 888-408-6318 today to experience Resound Links. That's 888-408-6318 to schedule your appointment to learn all about Resound Links. Apple, iPad, iPhone, and iPod Touch are trademarks of Apple Incorporated, registered in the U.S. and other countries. Once again, call the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center at 888 408-6318 today to experience Resound Links.
Planning your next staycation? You don't have to go far to get away from it all. Just 30 minutes south of Shreveport in the historic village of Grand Cane stands the Cook Hill House Bed and Breakfast. This stately treasure was built in the mid-1800s before the Civil War. The Cook Hill House is also the perfect place for weddings, receptions, parties, and showers. Call the Cook Hill House Bed and Breakfast at 318-858-0800. 318-858-0800. Cook Hill House Bed and Breakfast. Victorian elegance with country charm.
Everybody's passionate about something. Sports cars, skydiving, bungee jumping. Me? I'm passionate about shoes. Hi, this is Matt Brown from New Balance Shreveport, and I'm a shoeaholic. Actually, all of us here at New Balance are hooked on helping you find the perfect fitting shoe for your individual foot and lifestyle. Walk through the door of New Balance Shreveport and you know you're in for a unique experience unlike any other shoe store. Our fit experts will take you through a free foot screening, then make recommendations on the shoe models that will maximize your comfort and energy. You won't believe the difference a pair of great fitting shoes can make in your life. Our passion for customer experience combined with New Balance's legendary fit-in technology means it won't be long before you're hooked on comfort, energy, and fit just like us. We get a charge out of giving you a charge for life.
So visit New Balance Shreveport today. On Line Avenue in Uptown Center, just down from Brookshire's.
Remember, when your feet feel good, your whole body feels good.
Conserving water doesn't take a major change in lifestyle. It's mostly a matter of using good common sense. Water your lawn during the morning or evening to minimize evaporation. You'll also get greater soil saturation and plant absorption. And avoid overwatering. If runoff occurs, stop immediately. The declining Sparta Aquifer is our main water source in North Louisiana. Do your part for water conservation. Be Sparta Smart. Make every drop count. This public service announcement is brought to you by this radio station, a member of the Sparta Media Network.
This is America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
Well, welcome back to America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant. And I've been telling you that we're going to have a very special guest here for you today, and we do have him. Let me tell you a little bit about him, and he's a great guy and a person that I truly admire. He is among the top shows on cable in the country, in fact, the entire country. He's one of the most diverse shows on television. And he was among the first of his caliber in media to put my movie, as all of you know, Runaway Slave, on his website. And he was the first to have a group of black conservatives on his show. And he is a great American, and he is a patriot. And I want to welcome right now to America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant, my friend, Sean Hannity. Sean, welcome to America on the Edge.
You got it right at the end. I was going to say, and you forgot friend, because I consider you a friend, a patriot, a great American, and, you're out there fighting the good fight every day. And I admire all you're doing, and you do it with a strong faith and a vision. Where there's no vision, the people perish, and I admire you, everything you're doing.
Thank you so much for that, Sean. Sean, tell us here in Shreveport, and I want to mention this to you. You may not know that Shreveport is the last capital of the Confederacy. When Richmond fell, Shreveport became the capital of the Confederacy, and it is the last city to concede defeat in the Civil War. So old ways die hard here. But, you are vilified sometimes by those on the left as being, out of step, even I'm an Uncle Tom and you're a racist. But you're the most diverse show around. Why is that? Why are you attacked like that?
Because it's cheap and it's easy and it's for the intellectually dishonest, and it's look at how campaigns are run today. Paul Ryan lookalikes throwing grandma over the cliff. It's the same old talking points, scaring people into voting. Oh, Republicans want dirty air, dirty water, and they want to kill people. Republicans. Al Gore went before the NAACP, changes his entire speaking style and cadence, and goes into a preacher mode and screams, Republicans don't even want to count you in the census.
Right.
Playing the race card, dividing America along racial lines, rich versus poor, old versus young, black versus white. I mean, women versus men. It's just right out of the old Democratic playbook, unfortunately.
And then
sadly, those bumper stickers work. I don't give and part of my language, I don't give a hoot. I'm cleaning it up, Reverend. I don't give a hoot what anybody says about me, because I know in my Christian heart that I'm not a racist. I know in my Christian heart that God created every man, woman, and child on this earth. I know in my life that if you want to talk about real discrimination that people are facing today that is acceptable in society, which is an outrage to me, that is the attack against black conservatives from sea to shining sea. The names that you have been called and Deneen has been called and so many of my friends is beyond the pale.
Absolutely.
Why? Because, why? Because you happen to have a different point of view politically?
Yeah. Yeah.
Try saying that about a woman. Try saying that about somebody who's of a particular faith.
Right.
Try and say that about somebody who's black and liberal.
Right.
And see what happens.
Exactly right.
So I don't play into these stereotypes. I know who I am, and I believe that God put every man, woman, and child on this planet. We all have the same Father. He gave every man, woman, and child some talent, some ability, some purpose in life. Our job is to work through all of our pride and arrogance and weaknesses and find that mission that He appointed us for.
Sean, I saw your show last night, and I really admire your defense of Israel. It appears in our nation today there is a distorted view of good and evil when it comes to Israel. And when it comes to compassion, there's a distorted view of common sense and compassion when it comes to our border being secured. This thing that keeps on with Israel, it really does concern me, because there is a rise in anti-Semitism in the nation. Do you see that as well?
It's not only in the nation. I put up a map the day before on the TV show. It's all over the world. It's all over Europe. It's all over the Middle East. It's all over Africa. Hamas's charter, we're in a very dangerous time. If we can't figure out, in a case like this that is so cut and dry, who the good guys are and who the victims are and who the terrorists are, that have in their own charter a call for the destruction of Israel and the killing of Jews, radical Islamists that want to wipe Israel off the map, that say they want to wipe it off the map, that want to destroy the state of Israel, that they are like the modern-day Nazis. They want a modern-day Holocaust. I believe them when they say it, and then they deliver 3,000 rockets into Israeli cities and towns, and somehow the world wants to turn against Israel for doing what any nation should do, and that's defend itself. The fact that Nancy Pelosi referred to Hamas, saying the Qataris told her that they're a humanitarian organization. Well, the Qataris are the ones that are funding the purchasing of the rockets. The Qataris are on Hamas's side. Hamas has a charter that says destroy Israel. And we have a former Speaker of the House that doesn't understand that. We have a Secretary of State that tells Israel to stand down and not break up the infrastructure of those people that are trying to kill them. I mean, this is ass backwards, CL. I don't know what's going on.
You are listening to America on the Edge with CL Bryant. Sean, I'm Stephen Parr, the co-host here with CL, and we were just talking.
By the way, Stephen, you can't co-host a show with CL. You've got too much to say. You need your own show.
It's difficult to get in sometimes. Yes, we were just talking this last block about the vote yesterday in the House. For the Republicans are going to sue. The House is going to sue the president. And I wanted to know what you think. Is that the right strategy? Is that the wrong strategy? And how does it play in with the Democrats saying that this is just a ruse for impeachment?
Look, first of all, while Sarah Palin's right, this president has been lawless. this president does not respect separation of powers. He doesn't respect co-equal branches of government. He picks and chooses which laws he wants to enforce. He rewrites his own health care law repeatedly without going back to Congress. Constitutionally, he can't do that. He makes recess appointments when the Senate's not in recess. He had to get a rebuke from the Supreme Court on that. He doesn't enforce our own immigration law. He doesn't enforce the work requirements for welfare. So what he's doing is not constitutional. Saying that he is going to, rule by caveat, executive caveat, or some type of executive power, that's not how our system of checks and balances works. Our framers were very wise. They never wanted a concentration of power in any one branch. So I do believe that this president is consciously pushing what liberal University of Georgetown law professor Jonathan Turley said, pushing us to a constitutional tipping point. But with that said, politically, I think it would be suicide. I'm not a fan of the lawsuit because I think that the Congress has constitutional power that they have not used, and that's the power of the purse. I think the lawsuit will be thrown out on summary judgment, and I think it probably will not have standing in any court because the court's going to turn around and say, read the Constitution, you have the power of the purse, and you haven't used it. I think the Republicans in that sense are afraid to use the very power that they do have and should use, and that's the power that they were excoriating Ted Cruz over during the, quote, government shutdown. I think Ted Cruz was right on the law and right on the issue.
And
right on the Constitution.
And Sean, yesterday from Kansas City, the president was saying that they want to sue him because he's trying to help people. Dr. Krauthammer said earlier today or last night that his job is not to help people, it's to uphold the laws of our land, and he's not doing that.
The President of the United States does not have the authority to write laws, to rewrite laws, we have a system of governance with three branches. We got the House and the Senate, and all bills originate in the House in terms of financial bills. They have the power of the purse, goes to the Senate votes, and then a president signs it into law. When somebody becomes president, they swear that they will uphold the law of the land and the Constitution on which our rule of law is based. So in that sense, I do believe the president is acting lawlessly. He seems to not care about it. A case can be made that you need to stop this abuse of power, but I think the way to stop it is through the power of the purse. I don't think it's through the court system, nor do I think you have to politically factor in what the impact would be to the country on impeachment. He's got 2 years left in office. I think he'd like nothing more than Republicans to take the bait and go after him and turn himself into a victim. And I think you've got to be as wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. I read that in some book somewhere, CL.
Oh, yes. We know which one that is.
You're listening to America on the Edge with CL Bryant. Our special guest today is Sean Hannity. And, Sean, it wasn't too long ago you went down to the border to see the issue going on down there firsthand. As someone who's seen it with your own eyes, what do you think the solution is for keeping our border safe and stopping this influx of illegal, undocumented, unescorted minors?
CL, I have been to the border 9 or 10 times now. I've been to the Rio Grande Valley twice. I have been all the way up and through El Paso. I have been through all of Arizona. I have been in San Diego. I've been on horseback. I've been in multiple helicopters. I've been out on multiple boats. I've been on all-terrain vehicles. I've seen with my own eyes gangs being arrested. I've been in drug warehouses where they are massive, floor-to-ceiling, nothing but drugs, reeking of drugs. I have seen tunnels that were dug, and I've been in a tunnel that was dug from Mexico up through an office building in San Diego. But this trip with Governor Perry, I got something that I'd never gotten before, and that was a briefing from those boots on the ground. And there's this guy, JJ, you would have loved him, former Navy SEAL, and he had a PowerPoint presentation. And this, by the way, the timing of this was the day after the president met with Perry after he only wanted a photo op. So really the president, and that was the day that he could have gone to the border in my place in McAllen, Texas, which is right by the Rio Grande River,
right,
which literally carries it. So
right, I'm familiar with it.
So I sat through the briefing, and I discovered that they're catching people from Yemen, Syria, Pakistan, Afghanistan.
Well,
now why would they be crossing our border, CL?
because they can.
Number two, okay, because they can. And then I learned that in 7 years, in the state of Texas alone, 642,000 crimes were perpetrated on Texas residents by illegal immigrants, including murder and rape and robbery and kidnapping and drug dealing and the whole gamut. It is having a massive impact on our criminal justice system, our educational system, our healthcare system. The answer is this. The answer is hire the agents, secure the border, build fences, have every single square foot of the border at least under surveillance, and have enough agents available to apprehend anybody that dares try to cross it. That's it.
I totally
That's
agree.
the answer.
I totally agree. And, you know, Sean, it is important that this message of yours, this message of America, continues to shine, and we continue to tell it. If we stop telling our story as conservatives, and I'm a proud Republican. I know that you're a proud conservative. I'm a proud Republican, but we have not told our story. And this is what I want to propose to you. Shreveport, this area is a heavily military city. Is the home of the 2nd Bomb Wing over in Barksdale Air Force Base. That's where they brought President Bush when the Twin Towers fell. And I do believe, and I told you about my content of character tour that we take to college campuses around the country.
By the way, that is awesome. That is a real positive message, because we're all going to be judged on that. And by the way, we've all sinned and fallen short, Reverend. But the idea is you build your character and you become the man that you're supposed to be.
Yes, sir. I want to invite you to Shreveport.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you would pack out the Century Tel Arena and America on the Edge. We'd love to bring you here. I want you to consider that. Pray about that, brother, coming down here to visit with us. And listen,
I was
Sean.
just out in New Orleans. I wish I would have seen you.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think we did bump into each other. We bumped into each other at the RNC. We did bump into each other.
Yeah, we did.
And but just the same, it was brief, but we did bump into each other. But just the same, Sean, I want to thank you for being on the show here today. And I want to be able to tell the folks that there's a possibility that we can negotiate getting you here.
Listen, I will do all that I can. Here's the deal. The next time that I am down in and around the area and that I have advance warning, because I never know, I'm going somewhere Monday. I can't tell you yet, but we have a big announcement Monday. Okay. But when I'm down in the area, and if I can give you advance warning, I don't mean it that way, it's advance notice. By the way, when CL says, I bumped into him, he means bump. When you bump into CL, you know you bumped into something. He gives you this big bear hug, man, that just makes you know that God loves you.
And I do, man. You are a great guy and a great American, and thank you so much.
Hey, listen, I'm honored to be your friend, CL. I know you're doing God's work. God bless you. You're a good man. And Steve, it was nice to talk to you for about a minute, which is all that you should expect on the CL show.
Well, listen, we'll be tuned in tonight, and we'll talk to you real soon. God bless and keep you. Bye now.
God bless you.
You're listening to America on the Edge with C.L. Bryan. Our question of the day, has the government ever flown you to Hawaii? If so, we'd like to hear about it. Let us know. Give us a call, 318-320-KEEL, or send us a tweet at The American Edge. We'll be right back.
You're listening to America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
SB Magazine, North Louisiana's premier publication, is your source for local entertainment, home decor ideas, gardening information, fashion trends, and seasonal gift guides. Every month, we take you behind the scenes at some of Shreveport-Bossier's most fun events in Eye on SB. And you'll find SB Magazine everywhere. But the best way to make sure you have the most current issue is to subscribe. It's just $16 for 12 months. Call Debbie today or go to our website, sbmag.net. SB Magazine, the pulse of Shreveport-Bossier.
Are your student loan payments past due? Well, you may qualify to have your entire student loan forgiven with one free call. That's right. If you're a teacher, nurse, police officer, firefighter, or work for a nonprofit, then you may qualify for new federal programs to have your entire student loan forgiven. The Student Loan Council wants to give you free information on all the programs that can help, and the sooner you call, the faster they can help. Get the maximum loan forgiveness, loan reduction, or consolidation available. Plus, find out in the first free call what you qualify for. A loan forgiveness specialist is standing by to answer all of your questions for free. So stop worrying about your student loan payments and find out what freedom feels like. Call for this life-changing information now and start putting money back in your pocket right away. Call 800-579-4409. 800-579-4409. Completely wipe out your federal student loan debt. Find out how. 800-579-4409. That's 800-579-4409.
I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
As long as I live.
As long as I live.
That moment, we arrived in the scene.
The storm had nearly destroyed the area.
This was our own community. Friends, family, people we grew up with, went to school with. We were there to help.
Several of us were working to rescue a family.
They made it down to the storm cellar, but the house collapsed on top of the cellar door and trapped them.
We had chainsaws going, and we had to use Humvees and heavy machinery to move massive trees and debris.
We got them out.
We helped a lot of people out.
It felt good to know I could really make a difference.
Right here, close to home, in my state.
It was one of those life-changing moments where I realized I am making a difference in these people's lives and mine. I'm a citizen soldier in the National Guard.
You can serve part-time and be there the moment your community needs you. Learn more at NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Louisiana National Guard, aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
On your smartphone, you can check company email, stay connected with family on social media, play video games, and now listen to your favorite radio station. Introducing Radio Pup, an app you can get for your smartphone that lets you listen to your favorite radio station anytime, anywhere. Find out where the party's at tonight, what's going on in local news. Always be in the know with Radio Pup. Download Radio Pup in the iTunes Store or Android Market for free, or head to RadioPup.com. Radio Pup, the radio app that follows you everywhere. Brought to you by American Wholesale Mattress.
This is America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
Welcome back to America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant. I am Stephen Parr. We are live today at Giuseppe's on Line Avenue, and we've had a big turnout here. A lot of folks coming out and joining us and listening to the show as we put it together.
And you know, I just got a text from my good friend Joe Brucia, who is the son of Chef Giuseppe Brucia. And I just want to wish you and Natalie a safe and happy vacation out there, wherever you may be enjoying yourself. And, of course, we're right here at Giuseppe's Restaurant, the best ambiance, the best food in town. Thank you so much for your hospitality.
So we're getting some questions here. We're getting some questions live from Giuseppe's, and I see we have an audience member stepping up. Would you just say your name real quick, and then what is it you wanted to talk about?
Jolene Woods, and I have a comment more than a question. Right now we're talking about the lawsuit that's going on and an impeachment process, and I keep hearing on other talk shows that, you know, I heard this morning that the presidential insurance right now is our vice president. And I just want to remind everyone that we, the Republicans, did not elect this vice president. So do not use that as a fear tactic against us. If we end up with Joe Biden as the president of the United States, that is on the Democrats. That is not on the Republicans.
That's a very good thought, Jolene. Thank you so much for that. Absolutely. But you know what? Joe Biden is definitely an insurance policy. And we have another question.
All right, I'm Tom. And the question is, we are not regarded as a superpower anymore. Our president has now reached a point where he is ineffective in national and international terms. How are we ever going to get that back?
I go back to Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt said you have to walk softly and carry a big stick. Now, he wasn't talking about slippers and bats. What he was talking about is as you walk softly, you walk with an air of confidence, and you don't spout off unless you know exactly what it is you're talking about. You don't draw red lines in the sand in Syria unless you used to have 13. Okay? France and England are having to share one right now. Okay? We cannot allow our Navy and our military to continue to decrease in size, decrease in effectiveness, and expect people to respect us when we walk softly. What's going on in Ukraine right now? Putin took over Crimea because he knew he could.
Right now, we need a leader of men. I am in favor of a MacArthur, an Eisenhower type, a person who not only is respected by the world, but a person who can lead men. We said it from the outset of this presidency, and we'll say it again. This president has never run an ice cream stand or lemonade stand. He never was in business. We need a person, and he has no respect for the military. We have a Marine in Mexico that our president has not even called his name. Yet, he's the one who's wielding the biggest platform in the world, but he will not exercise his power.
We have one more question here.
My name's Henry Ollier. I have a question for CL. We have become a nation of politics, not a nation of the people. What can we do to correct this situation?
Statesmen. We need people who are statesmen. People who understand states' rights and understand what statesmanship is. You're absolutely right, Dr. Hollier, that in fact there are Doc, in fact, there are people who do not, who are elected to office, who in fact want to be in office in order to gain the system or game the system. And that is where we have gone wrong in this country.
See, I'll tell you, my biggest disappointment with this presidency is before he came into office, he said we can disagree without being disagreeable. And yet yesterday he called me a hater. And if you disagree with his policies, he called you a hater too. That's not living up to the own standards of his own words. And when you talk about politics and statesmanship, it starts at the top. If we want people to lead this country to a new direction, we have to elect people who are willing to lead in an honorable fashion.
And that's the platform that we hope to offer to everyone. This is C.L. Bryant, America on the Edge, along with Stephen Parr. We'll be right back.
Giving you the edge. This is America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
If you're tired of getting nickel and dime for your company's marketing needs, GI Marketing Group can help. We're a new, evolved marketing company with no monthly fees or markups and with quicker response times. With GI Marketing Group, there is no outsourcing. We own the production facilities, everything from print, mail, video, digital, and web design. We do it all in-house. Call us today at 318-222-1100 to start saving time and money, or visit us online at gimarketinggroup.com.
You don't have to go far to get away from it all. Just 30 minutes south of Shreveport in the historic village of Grand Cane stands the Cook Hill House Bed and Breakfast. This stately treasure was built in the mid-1800s, before the Civil War. Today, antiques and homemade quilts fill king and queen size suites. Rooms come fully furnished with private baths and free cable and Wi-Fi. Plus, you get a homemade country breakfast from Grand Cane Gourmet Jane Bryant included in your reservation. The Cook Hill House is the perfect place for weddings, receptions, parties, and showers, or when simply planning your next staycation. Call the Cook Hill House Bed and Breakfast at 318-858-0800. 318-858-0800. That's 318-858-0800. Cook Hill House Bed and Breakfast. Victorian elegance with country charm.
If you're in need of a good plumber, perhaps you need work on your heater, or especially right now with cooling and refrigeration systems. If you need help, give the friendly folks at Premier a call at 222-1980.
Doctors Thornton, Pugh, Ollier, and Watkins from the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center are excited to tell you about a new, made-for-iPhone hearing aid, Resound Links. Resound Links is the fully featured hearing aid designed to connect directly with iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch. Built with revolutionary technology to bring you a smarter, smaller, and more connected hearing experience. Call the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center at 888-408-6318 today to experience Resound Links. That's 888-408-6318 to schedule your appointment to learn all about Resound Links. Apple, iPad, iPhone, and iPod Touch are trademarks of Apple Incorporated, registered in the U.S. and other countries. Once again, call the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center at 888-408-6318 today to experience Resound Links.
Hello, everybody. This is Henry Burns. God, faith, and freedom are not free. Many have paid the price. Let freedom ring. What a great radio program. Go get them, CL.
You're listening to America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
Welcome back to America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant. I am Stephen Parr. C.L., we wanted to talk a little bit about Common Core today, but with the great questions that we were getting here live at Giuseppe's on Line Avenue in Shreveport, we did not get a chance to get to Common Core. We will get to that later on.
There's one other question that George Brazell asked me, Stephen, and he asked, how is it that blacks who voted for Obama are accepting these illegal aliens coming across when all they're going to do is take their particular segment. That's going to be something.
And it certainly is. And the African-American community has really suffered under this president in a way that no other part of our country has. And it's not like there are a whole bunch other than Wall Streeters who are doing great.
It's a paradox. I just don't know. It's a paradox what's going on in this country. A man with dark skin, black skin, as a man of color, as is said in the White House, but yet people of color are suffering more than anyone else.
Our question of the day we've been asking on Twitter and on Facebook and on the air here. You can, of course, reach us at The American Edge on Twitter or send us a comment on Facebook.com/America on the Edge. CL, has the government ever flown you to Hawaii like they've flown those undocumented, unescorted children?
No, sir. But I tell you something, I am just appalled at that because we're paying for it. And to tell you the truth, we don't even know why. Why are we paying for this? Why are we tolerating this? Americans, something has happened in us that we tolerate this type thing. You know, we only get the type of government that we tolerate.
We have the chance to vote for it, and elections are certainly coming up.
Well, things are beginning to wind down here, and we have been live from Giuseppe's restaurant on Line Avenue in the Brookshires Shopping Center. It has been a great day, and again, I want to thank our friend Chef Giuseppe Brucia and my good friend, his son Joe Brucia, and his wife Natalie for having us here today. I want to thank my entire team for being out, and all of these people who have come out to meet and greet us. We'll be doing it again. Looks like Bossier City here next, and so we hope that you welcome us with open arms when we come to you. As always, we like to end our show with a tribute to our men and women in uniform across this nation who give you and I, Stephen, the right, the privilege to stand here or sit behind this microphone. And always we want to thank God for yet another day. Our time is up. Listen, God bless and God keep you all. We'll talk to you in about 23 hours. This is C.L. Bryant, America on the Edge. Bye now.
They see the damage and the pain, shattered lives, wave rains. Still they march on down that